Hey everyone, so I've been working on something pretty cool, and I'm excited to show it to you today. Behold, the Novelist's Atelier. Okay, I know that sounds fancy, but here's the deal. This is a browser-based AI writing assistant specifically designed for editing your fiction. And let me be clear about that. This isn't for writing your first draft. I'd recommend Scrivener, Google Docs, Obsidian, something else for that. This is for taking that rough draft that you've had sitting in a drawer for months or years and turning it into something polished. Think of it like having a professional editor and world building assistant in your pocket without having to pay thousands of dollars for a developmental editor, a copy editor, a line editor. You write the story your way, and the AI helps you tighten your prose, develop your characters, keep track of your world building to make sure everything stays consistent. And the best part, it can be all local. Your work stays on your machine, no servers, no subscriptions, nothing uploaded to the cloud. Privacy first. You can run this locally, completely disconnected from the internet, and with a local LM, and have it do everything you want. Now, you can connect it to an API and use external ones, or you could copy and paste the prompts that it creates into a different chat, and you can use any one you want. So let's get comfortable and dive in. So by the end of this tutorial, you'll have created a complete fantasy project from scratch. Sounds good? Let's go. Okay, so the first thing you're going to see is the tutorial project up here, which won't actually exist, it'll just be blank. You have new project, load and save. Load and save to your local browser memory that are not portable to different machines. Import and export, exports a JSON, and then you can import a JSON onto a different machine, rename and delete. Then we have things that you go to each of the tabs, or you can do it across the top. There's some tips, inclusion modes, and then my AI usage that I used to build this. It is a fully vibe-coded project, but it has passed code reviews for GitHub. Here's help, keyboard shortcuts, tab guides, activity log. Next, we'll talk about settings. In the settings, we have the security, which by default is password encrypted with AES 256, and you'll be prompted for a password anytime your keys are needed. This is the most secure option and it's the default mode. If you're fully offline, you can save it in plain text. You can have it prompt for each session. And then as soon as every time it runs a job, you'll ask you for your key and that's it. And then it won't save it. And then there's session only where it'll save it until you close the browser. Then we have different API providers. You can use OpenRouter, which gives you access to a lot of models for a per usage fee. You can use Anthropic models with Claude, OpenAI, Google Gemini, or LM Studio for fully local. And fully local gives you all the kind of stuff that would be helpful for using not safe for work models or things you can't do there, or keeping your stuff because you don't want it to be in the cloud at all. Then we have themes. We have display scale. We have generation settings, which is how many tokens will allow you to use. Now, if you're just copying and pasting, you can go over this limit, but realistically, 10,000 is probably good. 4,000 works for a lot of people, for a lot of projects. Then you have writing preferences, which is first person, third person, or mixed. I personally enjoy using first person inner voice with third person everything else. You can tell it that italics is inner monologue. And so that way, if you copy and paste into a chat window, you might lose your formatting, and this will allow you to ignore that. You can tell it to have no em dashes, no semicolons, no colons. Don't use triplet framing. Don't use over description. Don't use an inspirational pivot. Don't use AI bookending, where they kind of mirror the beginning and end of chapters or sections. Vary your sentence structure. Avoid filter words. Have snappier dialogue, and use specific details over generic details. And then you can actually add additional words that you want it to ignore. And then at the bottom we have export, import projects, export templates, export timeline, import timeline, and clear all saved data. So now we've jumped over to the series page, and here you can put in a series title, and if your series has multiple trilogies, you could put in whatever that was called too, and then you're going to copy your Bible into this space, or you could theoretically upload an MD file as well for Markdown. By default, it'll use the full file in here, but that could be a lot of tokens that you don't need. So you could end up choosing brief, which is only 500 characters, extended, which is 1,000, custom allows you to set your own number of characters, or you can just not use it if you're not using it. Personally, I find I'm editing book 1 of my series, I don't need the series guide in every single prompt because it'll add everything when you do your prompt. Next step is your book Bible, which will have even more details about stuff. And you can also do an outline of whatever. So like if you maybe had a list of all the chapters you were going to put in the book, you could put that in the outline, and that would be useful. And that might be less detailed than your book Bible. So in my case, I'm going to do, let me find where I put it, copy and paste in a book Bible. And that will give more information to the prompt, which is I do usually leave my book Bible. Usually I do it through, I change it to custom and I kind of put it into 3 or 4 chapters past my current chapter. That way it's not taking up too many tokens, but I'm also still able to provide enough information. And you can also, in this case, put in a book title. So let's see, The Last Light Falling was the name of this one. This is just an AI generated book. This is not a real book that I'm working on. It can also generate the Bible from chapters. We'll get to chapters tab next. But yeah, you can, like I said, full, brief, extended, custom off. I would usually keep this on, or at least on some sort of extended or custom setting. Then we have the chapters tab, which can be split into chapter level or a scene level where it lets you mark specific scenes within the chapters. Then you can go in and add specific chapters. So in our case, we're going to do, it's chapter 3. And that's actually wrong. I don't actually want to put that in that window. If you're only doing 1, that might make sense. So we're doing chapter 3. Copy, paste. Then, so let's do a sample. So I have this chapter in here. We're going to go to a prompt. We're going to start at phase 1. We're going to do copy prompt, which should, down here, it'll show your context is your series Bible, your book Bible, and a full chapter. It's about 4,300 tokens. You can download this. You can copy the output if you do a run, and that'll go through your tokens, or you can just copy like I did, and then just drop it into a chat. Do this, it'll show the chapter, it'll show consistency rules, tone, themes, timeline, all the stuff in your book Bible, your series Bible, your writing preferences, genre. So then it can give you core narrative. Like, I actually find Claude to give more detailed information than Grok, but this was nice and easy. Let's skip ahead to, hold on, where is it? I want to do the AI check. Where is AI? Put that. I'll do pipeline. Pipeline allows you to do multiple legs, or multiple legs, it's all steps at once. But you basically can add any sort of phases right. You can add a new step, and then it'll do multiple at once. The one downside to this is it has to go through the API. You can't just copy because it needs to run it, then run it again, then run it again, like an agentic system. But if you're doing it all locally, it would be real easy to just queue up all your things and go, and then use all the feedback it gives you to make your edits. Whereas if you're doing copy and paste, you kind of end up needing to do it and then pull it back and then change it. And like for me, whenever I edit, I go